Otherwise, if this is not true, then they will not be navigated. That means they will remain on the page. So if they remain on the page, what do we want to do? We have created this function that allows the user to sign in. Then we just call this function, or we invoke the function by coming to our for our functions and bring this function user sign in here. So now let us go ahead to now write the function block for the user to sign in. So we are going to be using Firebase, which is our database where it also provide, since that is even we have even do the sign functionality with our registration before, but just for us to refresh our memory, we are going to be doing it again. So we come to the sign in, scroll down to the sign in, then you see Firebase sign in, pick it and put it inside this function block. Then it requires two things from you: the email of the user and the password of the user. So we go ahead to this email feed, text email. So the text of that input feed, we put it here, and the password too, we do the same thing: text input login. You see how important it is for you to name. You have an idea of what each is doing. Look at this now. For example, I broke the rule here, image one. I did not rename it. The question is, what is image one doing? Is it the logo? Is it a button? Is it an icon? Is it does not give me any idea. But if I look at this, it gives me idea of a button. Go to landing page, label login error message. So please, once you drag a component to your page or to your screen, the first thing you should do, lest you forget, is to rename it, because it makes your life easier when you are working on the blocks. So we go ahead to the screen and to the password text. So now that we have that, we have supplied that if Firebase successfully signed the user in, you are going to be getting the user ID, the email is verified, and error. Of course, we are not dealing with the image verification for now. So now we are going to be checking if there's an error, so that we can display to the user for them to do the needful correction, or for them to be able to know, okay, maybe they don't have an account, the Firebase visited them, there's no account for this user, then they will definitely know. So now that we have that, we are going to be checking if there's an error, and I'm going to be picking that from here. Once you just drag it, you'll be able to remove it from there, but you still have it there. So it is never, you can never finish it, so you can drag as many as possible. Now we need to delete. So because we are going to be using it several times. So if there's an error, then set the error message, label error message to whatever error you are getting from Firebase. So set the text of that. No, I should not remove from there. I should remove from the top. Set it here, so that the user can know which error, which Firebase rule they are flaunting. Now I am going to be, I think I should zoom in a bit so that we can see. So sorry if it has been smaller before. Now that we have the text, the error, so if there's an error, then show the user the error. Otherwise, if there's no error, then we go ahead. That means the user was successfully signed in. And for us to be able to do that, then we just set the we just set the user ID. Don't forget that is what you used to know, that the user has been successfully signed in. So I'll come to the variables, then I'll set, just pick any set. You can change the variable that you want to set. So the variable I want to set, you can see all the variables you have defined. So set variable user ID, and what am I setting it to? I'm setting it to the user ID that I'm getting from Firebase. Another thing I'll also do is I'll set variable email. Set variable email. And what am I setting it to? I am setting it to I'm setting it to the email of the user. Let me just duplicate it here. And this is password, and this is the email. I'll just duplicate this. I'll set that to the user email, and even the email can be very useful to me some other times. So after I've set that, I will then do what? Navigate the user to the dashboard. Navigate the user to the dashboard. So I'll come here, navigate them to the screen that you see after they're signing, which is the dashboard. So now that we have been able to do that, the next thing is for us to test our application if it is working properly. Of course, you can see that this is very easy because it's just like a repeating what we already know from the registration page. Now we'll go ahead to preview. So I will set it to fit to scale. Now increase this one a bit. So of course all our function is still working. Start now. I don't have an account. I can go to sign up. I can sign in. No. Now let me just misbehave first. And I go password. Of course, let me not fill one. Let me not fill one input field. If I click, I can see. By the way, I expect it to give me all fields are required. Till I remove this, all fields are required. If I do this and I click on it, okay, that means when I press password and I remove it, something is wrong somewhere. But whichever way, Firebase will still give us that. Okay, even if I try to sign in, you see a non-empty password must be provided. So it will still Firebase will still give us an idea of which error we are making in the application. Yeah, so now that we have that, let us now go ahead and supply a wrong password. Supply authentication criteria is incorrect, malfunction or expired. So now that we have got that, okay, we cannot sign in without supplying the right password. Let's now supply the right password. So you can see now that it has successfully navigated me to the user dashboard. So now that we have been able to do that, we then go ahead. We are done with the authentication. We then go ahead to design the user dashboard and every information they are going to be seeing after they have been able to register successfully.